My name is Ondrej and I'm gonna show you how to build anything with Voiceflow. Voiceflow is an AI tool that lets you build complex AI agents super easily. So in this video, I'll show you how to use Voiceflow to make literally anything, even if you aren't a programmer. The first step is to go to voiceflow.com and create an account, and you can actually get started for free. Now, when you get started, you probably won't have any agents, so first thing we need to do is click on New Agent in the top right corner. I'm just gonna name it Custom Agent. Super creative, I know. Modality, you can do chat, and you can even do voice agents. I'm gonna go chat, in language, English obviously, and if you have other team members, you can add them. When you get started, you're gonna get a default project, and you should probably go through this, but I'm gonna show you everything. So it's kind of funny because now we have completely blank workspace, but at the end of the video, we'll have a fully working AI agent that can easily be sold for companies or influencers for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So stick around to see how to build that. Now, before I reveal what I'm actually gonna be building, let me quickly go over the main blocks inside of Voiceflow, because blocks are the fundamental building components in Voiceflow. So obviously there's the AI blocks, which let us use language models, talk blocks, which let us decide what the agent outputs, listen, this lets the agent listen to the user, which in this case, I'm gonna be the user. Logic lets us add basic logic like if statements, randomness, and stuff like that. Def, this is obviously the most advanced block, custom functions, APIs, JavaScript, and stuff like that. So we're gonna start with a talk text block, and let's see how long it takes you to guess what I'm building. Hint, it's gonna be in Discord. So I'm gonna be building a Discord bot. This is gonna be a simple text block, and I'm just gonna do something like a greeting, right? You can say, hey, hi, how can I help you? Now we can actually do a very simple test by clicking on the start button. So we can see how our agent actually looks like. Hi, how can I help you? Beautiful. The next block we're going to add is going to be a listen block. One cool thing about Voiceflow is that you can right click and change the color, right? So I'm going to do green for this one. This is going to listen for the intent or the intention that the user has. Now, since we don't have any intents created, I obviously have to create one. So I'm going to click and create a new intent. You can name it like, I don't know, weather, right? Something random. Let's say you have a weather bot, and if the user asked about weather, it would identify, the user is asking about weather. So now we can actually use AI to generate these utterances or possible inputs from the user to detect the intent, like, oh, the user wants to know weather, right? So the weather, and by the way, this is not what I'm building, this is just a random example. So we can type in manually, or you can use AI, obviously, to generate a bunch of variations. What's the weather like? Tell me about the weather. So it's predicting what the user might say in this intent, right? So now, since we have the start block, which starts off the entire workflow, then the agent asks a question, then it listens to what we say. If it's related to weather, it will trigger the next step, which could be, AI response, talk, listen, anything else. So now let's give it another test. Obviously, we're going to start it the same way. And the agent is also going to ask, hi, how can I help you? But now it's waiting on the listen block. It's waiting for what we say. If I don't say anything, well, it doesn't matter because we haven't built it out. By the way, Voiceflow was actually kind enough to sponsor this video and give me access to the team plan, which lets me build unlimited agents. And for most of you, probably the pro plan is enough. You can build 20 agents and use up to 2 million AI tokens, which I would be very impressed if you manage to use all of that. Definitely check it out. There's going to be a link in the description. It's a great tool. And as you can see, building agents with Voiceflow could not be easier. Now, the next step is going to be API, which for a lot of people is intimidating. Luckily for Voiceflow, it makes that super seamless. So I'm going to go into Dev and select the API block. As you can see, we just added connected to the weather. Actually, let me change that. I'm going to tell you what I'm building. I'm building an automatic Discord bot that's going to ping an external API to get the latest AI news, and it's going to give me all of that in 5 seconds. So while other people have to browse Twitter, watch YouTube videos, look at news websites, I'm going to have an automatic Discord bot, which is going to give me AI news on demand at any time. Pretty cool, huh? So let's build it. So let's actually change this intent. Well, we don't have to change it. We can only add another choice, right? So if somebody asks for the weather, they're not going to get anything. But if somebody asks for the AI news, right? So this is the second path. We have to add an intent. So this is going to be named simply news. And honestly, if you have a little bit of creativity, you can see how you can build anything with this. Like, you don't have to build weather. You don't have to build AI news. Simply start by building what I've built and then take it and replicate your own. So before you innovate, replicate. First build what I've actually built and then make it your own. So the user is asking for AI news. Boom, we can simply type news, and then generate 20 different ones with AI. So we're using AI to generate the utterances to save some time. Beautiful. So now you can see that we have an excellent strength on our intent. So right now it's not connected, right? So we have the talk block, the listen block, and the API block. I'm going to rename it so you can clearly understand. We need to connect the news into the API block. Beautiful. And also let's change the color. Why not? Let's do blue. Okay. So now we need to get an API that's going to give us the latest stuff from news websites. And for that, news API is perfect. It's literally so simple. You have a URL and you specify all the parameters in the URL. And don't worry, if you don't know how to do this, we're going to use ChatGPT. So I'm not going to use it myself. I'm going to have ChatGPT write it for me. So just, by the way, I'm going to leave the link to newsapi.org below the video as well, or you can just go to newsapi.org. Create an account takes literally 20 seconds. So now I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Boom. That way ChatGPT knows the formatting. And I'm going to say, I need you to write me a new URL for news API in this same format, but instead of, but for OpenAI news, let's do OpenAI news within the last 3 days, okay? And then English language only. And then sort it by most recent. It's kind of crazy how much you can specify in news API. And they have a few of these examples. So all articles mentioning Apple from yesterday sorted by most popular publishers. So as you can see, this is all specified inside of the URL. And then at the end, this is your API key. So this is my API key. Don't steal it. I'm going to disable it. But obviously, don't share your API key with anyone. And as you can see, ChatGPT finished it. So, it put it here. Actually, we can go into the account and give it our API key. Just put it inside, right? Here is my API key. Because, let's say you don't know how to do this. Well, just work with ChatGPT. Don't be afraid to use AI to build AI agents. Like, come on. There is nothing wrong about that. So obviously we're going to copy this. And now inside of Voiceflow, it's as simple as clicking on the API block and pasting it into the field for the URL. Literally as simple as that. And to test it out, if it works, you can click on send request and let's see, boom, 200 OK, it works. So we have a bunch of articles, 700 actually, it's kind of crazy, 700 different articles about OpenAI or relevant to OpenAI in some way. Now, we actually should probably simplify it, right? So let's only do 3 articles. Okay, limit the amount of articles to just 3, because we don't want to put 700 to our agent. That can increase the API costs. Obviously in Voiceflow we have 10 million tokens with the team plan, but if you're running the pro plan or even the free plan, which definitely you should check out, you want to be mindful about how much you're sending into your agent. So we don't want to send 700 news articles, we want to send just 3. That's going to be plenty, right? So I'm going to copy this and update it in the Voiceflow. So again, click on the API block and just replace the new URL. And let's test it out again. And that's much better. So we only get 3 articles inside of the API response, and we get 200 OK, meaning we are just getting API requests just like that. Literally 1 minute setup to get successful API requests into your AI agent. It's pretty amazing, guys. And so far we haven't done any coding. So the next step is going to be feed this to AI. So obviously we're going to start with success. And actually there are 2 ways to add new blocks into Voiceflow. The first one is obviously dragging like this from the end and selecting what you want. The second one is hovering over the block you want. In this case, we want response AI and simply dragging it. Let's change the color of this to make it stand out. Let's do orange and connect it to the success. So when our API request is successful, we call this AI block. Beautiful. Now, inside of this, we obviously can specify anything, right? We can select the LLM. I'm going to go with GPT-4o because it's the best. Temperature, for this one, since we're already giving it the articles, 0.2 should be enough. The lower, the less random and more consistent. The more you increase it, the more creative / random it is. Max tokens, let's go max. I'm going to do, you are a helpful AI assistant, classic system prompt. That explains AI news to the user in simpler terms, okay? Okay, let's do in a concise way. And for the prompt itself, we're gonna leave this empty for now, because we're gonna use variables inside of Voiceflow to, because every time the API request is different. Like when you ask for the news today, the response will be different than if you ask for the news in 5 days, right? So since it's different, we want to store it into a variable. It's not going to be hard coded in, so we're going to leave this empty for now. And now, how do we get the variables, right? Because we are getting the API request, but we need to store it somehow. Luckily, Voiceflow makes this super simple by capture the response. Now, for this, we actually need to understand the output of the API a bit. And don't worry, if you don't know anything about JSON or anything like that, it's fine. We simply get ChatGPT to do it. So again, I'm going to copy this. Let's copy like 2 articles or something, right? And then go into ChatGPT and let's say I don't even know what JSON is. Explain what this is and how to access each element within the structure. Okay, so I don't even know what JSON is. I've never heard of it. ChatGPT is going to teach me. This JSON structure represents a response from the news API that provides news articles about specific topic, in this case, OpenAI. It contains metadata about the request and the list of articles. So now it explains the structure, right? So we have a status, which obviously is okay, luckily. If you're not so lucky, it will not be okay. Total results, this is the number of articles. In this case, we have 700 articles about OpenAI from the last 3 days. Pretty crazy. And then actually the articles, which is an array containing the individual articles. So as you can see, each article has a source, ID, name, author, title, description, URL, and stuff like that. Now, from all of this JSON, we somehow need to extract the title and content of the first 3 articles. Let's see if ChatGPT has this knowledge. If not, we have to give it. And this is simply because ChatGPT has outdated training data. Like Voiceflow, they keep updating the platform all the time. There's literally improvements every day. Just earlier today, there was maintenance and they rolled out some interesting updates. So, yeah. Okay, so ChatGPT is writing some code. I haven't asked it to. No need to write code. Just give me how to get the key in the structure. See, like, we just need the key in the response. We don't need to write any code. Obviously, there is a JavaScript block, but we just need this. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't know that it is inside of response. So it seems like it does know. It's beautiful. Okay, I don't have to give it. But yeah, as you can see, inside of the response variable, we have to go into articles. So this is an object. Inside of this object, we have to access the articles array with index 0, because in programming, every list and array starts with 0, not with 1. And then we get the title of that article. So this will give us the first title, and inside of, again, clicking on the API block, inside of here, we just paste this in from ChatGPT, and we need to assign it to a variable. So I'm just going to create a new one, name it title1, and create. So now it saves this title to this variable. And actually, let's test it out, right? Let's go into the AI block, and let's see output the following, okay, output this text as is, and then curly brackets, title1. So we don't want it to change anything. We just need to see whether the API correctly routes to the AI block and if the AI block can understand it. So one thing I haven't shown you is that when testing, you can always start from the start, or you can start from any point. So let's go from the API block. It's gonna fetch the news API and send it to the AI block. Let's see. Boom. Yep, the AI block outputted this. So AI block can now understand this format. It can read the variable, what's inside. So, WWDC, Apple, yeah, I mean, most of the news are going to be about the Apple event. All right, nice. So now let's do this for the content as well. So we have grabbed the title for the first article. Let's grab the content as well. So inside of Voiceflow, simply click on plus and enter the key. Again, you don't have to know any of this. Literally, ChatGPT wrote this for me. Just one thing, check that they're putting it into the capture response. Now we have these variables declared, 6 different variables, 3 for the titles, 3 for the content. So the last thing that remains for us to test the agent inside of Voiceflow before we deploy it into Discord is to actually write the prompt for the AI. So let's delete this and simply say, summarize these AI news stories. Okay, very simple. And I'm going to title 1 and then content 1. Okay. By the way, just curly brackets, you can start typing. It's kind of amazing. You don't have to do any fancy stuff. The Voiceflow UI takes care of the formatting. And then do title free with content free. So now let's do a proper test of the entire workflow from the start. So let's click on start. By the way, you can also do here on top of the workspace, click on run and then run test. And this is gonna start everything. Hi, how can I help you? Let's do news. This is gonna trigger the intent of the news. Yep, and get the API called successfully. And then boom, WWDC, Elon Musk's threat. Elon has expressed dissatisfaction. And that's it. I don't know why I didn't give 3. I guess, oh yeah, probably 2 of the news were about the same thing, so it summarized it. But yeah, it makes sense. And as you can see the stats about the AI response. So model GPT-4o, token multiplier, this is how expensive in terms of tokens, in terms of Voiceflow tokens, the model is. So if you use 3.5, it's going to be much less expensive than GPT-4o, obviously. Token consumption, total 112, query free, answer 118. And then other, post multiplier token consumption. Anyways, we don't have to care about that because we have 10 million tokens, thanks to Voiceflow. Now, basically, this is the Voiceflow part done. We just need to take it and put it into Discord. And you might say, David, I don't know how to use the Discord developer portal. Guess what? I don't either. But we have ChatGPT, and most importantly, we have this GitHub repo from Voiceflow that teaches us everything step by step. Now, before we build the Discord bot, we actually need to do one more thing inside of Voiceflow, and that is publish the agent into production. So we basically deploy the agent, right? Because building the agent is one part, but then you have to deploy it. You have to put it on the web so that it's actually useful and it can be used in websites, in Discord, WhatsApp, anywhere. Like whether you're building it for yourself, for your company, or for a business, a client of yours, right? It doesn't matter. You have to deploy it in some way. So let's name this version production and let's publish it. And this will take like 5 seconds and it's uploading it to the web basically. So far everything we've done before was private. All of this is private, like nobody can access this. But now I'm publishing it, meaning we can get an API and we can put it into anything. So as you can see, we can use this widget. By the way, you've probably seen this on many websites. Voiceflow was powering a lot of those websites. This kind of AI widget, this is one thing you can do, build this for other companies and charge a certain amount of money. Or you can just take an API key, which is even more advanced, because with API you can do anything, right? So I'm going to copy this key and save it for later. And I'm actually going to also save the name of the version, so that was production in this case, which is important, and you'll see why in a bit. Now that we have the API key saved, we actually go to this GitHub, and I'm going to link this in the description, of course. And we're going to use this once we launch VS Code to clone this GitHub repo. That way we don't have to code everything from scratch. Thank God. Fortunately, the Voiceflow team did it for us. So as you can see, they used Replit, but we can just use VS Code, Discord, and Voiceflow. So we have the Voiceflow part done. Now let's do the Discord part. So let's go to discord.com/developers/application. Again, will be linked in the description. And let's create a new application by clicking on this button. I'm going to name it Newsbot. Agree, boom. And of course we need a nice profile picture. Okay, boom, a nice mid-journey image. You can add some relevant tags and then save it. This is the most important, you have to save it. We created the application, now we have to save the application ID. So in here, there's application ID, copy it and save it into a notepad, or doesn't matter, just a Google Doc, just save it somewhere. We're gonna use it later. Now, the next step is to reset the token. So click on bot on the left side, and there's going to be a token which you cannot see for security purposes. This is basically an API. The same way you shouldn't share an API, you shouldn't share this token. So I'm going to delete this bot before uploading. But let's reset this. And actually, yeah, you need a password. So Discord is asking you for a password. Just paste it inside, boom. And it will show you a new token for the bot. So copy this and save it in a notepad. Don't share this with anybody. Okay, next step. Save the token. Now scroll down. Yes, in these intents, we have to enable all of them. So enable all 3 intents, save. Next, for the scopes and bot permissions. So here I'm just going to click on administrator. Very simple. On the left, let's go to the authorization page, OAuth. And here we have to click on the scope, which in this case, let's just do bot. Ignore everything else, click on bot. And in terms of the bot permissions, let's do administrator. keeps it super simple. I mean, if you want, you can select a few, but I trust my bot. Hopefully he won't destroy the server. Anyways, famous last words. So now we should have the link, right? So at the bottom we get a link, and this will actually invite the bot into our Discord server. Now we're thinking like, oh my god, David, I don't have a Discord server. Don't worry, it's literally the simplest process ever. So open a new page and simply paste this in. It will load up this, and suddenly Newsbot wants to join your Discord account. You know, add a bot to the server, create commands, but it cannot have an existential crisis. Nice little joke there. Obviously you can select which server. I'm gonna do a test server, which I literally created yesterday, and administrator, yes. So let me quickly show you that creating a Discord server is literally ultra simple. As you can see, the Newsbot just entered and we see him on the members list. Now, if you don't have a Discord server, just create a Discord account. If you cannot create a Discord account, you will probably struggle with building agents, but hopefully I'm assuming you can create an account. So once you have Discord, you know, download the app, click on this plus icon, add a server, and let's see how long it takes us to create a server. So create my own for me and my friends. Testing 2. Literally 4 seconds. This is how simple it is to create a server. Anyways, we're here. We have the Newsbot inside, but it's offline because we haven't deployed it, right? I mean, we have deployed it, but it's not running anywhere. Voiceflow isn't hosting it. We have to host it ourselves in VS Code using the GitHub repository. But you'll see all of that. So yeah, we did all of these steps. Boom, boom, boom. As you can see, the bot has joined. Now, again, this is the next step. If you haven't activated the developer mode already, just go to settings, click on advanced, and turn on developer mode. I think I have that. Settings. Where are we? Settings, advanced. Oh yeah, it's streamer mode enabled. Okay, yeah. Advanced, click on advanced inside of Discord and enable developer mode. Beautiful. Let's continue. Okay, now we need a server ID. So inside of Discord, right click on the server and copy server ID. If you haven't enabled developer mode, you will not see this. So again, right click on the server, copy server ID, and save this into a notepad. They are using Replit to do this, but you can use VS Code. So we're going to use VS Code to host it locally. And it's super simple. If you don't know what to do, you simply ask ChatGPT. So how do I clone a GitHub repo into my VS Code? Prerequisites, download Git, clone the repository, open VS Code, all the good stuff. So here I have empty VS Code. Let me zoom in a bit. And there is this interesting button right here, clone GitHub repository. So again, back here, this is going to be linked in the description, but you can just copy the URL and go in here into VS Code and click on clone GitHub repository and paste it inside. Boom. Select the folder in which you want to clone it. So now that we have cloned the GitHub repo, we need to add the secrets because we're following the README file. So set up the secrets. We're not using Replit, we're using VS Code. So the first is the Discord token, and actually inside of here we should have a environment file, right? Environment template, which to make it active you need to rename it to .env file. Again, beginners struggle with this because sometimes they're using text editors and they have env.txt. It should be just .env and nothing after it. It shouldn't be Google Docs, nothing like that. Just .env. So, since it's the env template, it's made that way so you can see it and edit it. Now we have to actually replace all of these with the saved variables and API tokens we have saved. So first off is the Discord token, and this is the Discord bot. So copy the Discord bot one from your notepad and put it in here. Again, I'm going to delete this before uploading the video. Voiceflow API key. We have saved that one as well. Voiceflow API key. Boom. Just keep this API URL the same. They already put this in. It's good. Version production. This is why I use production, because it's already in the template. Let's see what else. App ID. So this is the Discord app of your bot or the application. And then we need the server ID into here. And the rest we can keep the same. So just hit Ctrl S to save it. Now, before I do anything, again, looking into Discord, our bot is offline. We cannot do anything with the bot. If I try to type to him, tag him, he's not gonna say anything like hello. He will not respond because he is not running. So we need to make him running. So how do we do that? Well, we have the app.js, which is a JavaScript file But if you don't have Node.js installed, you will not be able to run this. So again, let's assume I don't even know anything, right? Go to ChatGPT and says, in fact, let me use the GPT vision feature, take a screenshot of this. I have cloned the GitHub repo successfully. Now I wanna run the app.js file. How do I do that? Okay, I don't know anything. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. So by the way, take advantage of this. Like, take screenshots and paste it, because the GPT vision capabilities are really solid. So to run the app.js file, follow these steps. Go into terminal. Okay, so let's open up a terminal. Terminal, new terminal. Okay. Actually, let's see what's the next step. Ensure you are in the project directory. Yes, we are. Install dependencies. Okay, so npm install. Again, I don't even know what this means. So let's just copy the code ChatGPT gives us and follow the steps. This is the beauty of working with, of actually trying to build something. You're gonna learn so much stuff. So what this did is, I guess it copied the dependencies, right? Installed dependencies, yes. If this is your first time running the project, you need to install the dependencies listed in package.json, run the following command. So it installs everything we need to actually launch the project. Okay, let's see. It did that. And by the way, if you're on Mac, you can do clear, but this is not going to work. Or actually, this does work. But on Windows, you can do CLS, which also clears it. Anyways, now we have installed all the dependencies, we can run it. So it says execute the app.js file using Node.js, but it's assuming I have Node.js, right? So let's say I don't have Node.js, but I don't have Node.js, because that's what you need to actually run JavaScript files. Or you can launch it as a website, but that further complicates it. So again, if you're actually trying to build something instead of watching videos, that's why I urge everybody, don't just watch the videos, build what I've built. And only then try to change it and build your own stuff. Because you don't know what you don't know. So you have to start by replicating the project successfully. Once you do that, which is already more than the vast majority of people can do, if you can successfully replicate the project, then start experimenting with your own use cases and changing stuff, right? So in the process, you're going to learn so much. Like, we've learned the basics of JSON, how to install Node.js, how to use Voiceflow, how to use News API, how to use Discord Developer Portal. So many things you'll have learned in one single video. Like, you're not gonna learn so much in 5 months of college programming. It's kind of crazy, man. Anyways, let's go here. So I don't have Node.js. Let's see. You need to install Node.js. So it gives us the link. Literally, guys, use ChatGPT. So many people still don't use it. It's kind of crazy. So we go here and install it. I already have it installed, so I'm not gonna do it. But literally, ChatGPT gives me the link. Node.js.org. Node.js.org. I'm gonna link it in the description. And you click it and install it. Run the installer, click through the installation steps, classic. And then in the terminal, we can actually run these 2 test commands to see if it's installed correctly. So node/version or /v. Let's open it up, node/v. And it's showing up as a version, beautiful, meaning we have the version. And npm, which is node package manager, let's do the same command, npm-v. -v, boom, both of these are installed, beautiful. So we are ready to launch the app. And we just copy this, node app.js, which is the name of the file in our GitHub repo. So as you can see, it's called app.js. The same way you have, main.py, a Python file. It's just a different programming language, that's it. You don't even have to understand the programming language. I mean, if you noticed, we haven't coded any JavaScript and we're using it, which is the power of AI. So let's paste this in, node app.js, enter, boom. And this is gonna launch our bot, ready, logged in as newsbot. And as you can see on Discord, voila, our bot is online. So now let's test it out. So I'm gonna tag him and just say hi. He's gonna start the process. Hi, how can I help you? And I'm gonna do the intent we've programmed, news. And let's, fingers crossed, hopefully the bot will correctly call the API and give us the AI news. Let's see. Okay. Can we see, actually in the VS Code, we can see what's happening on the back end. Yeah, we can see the mentioned bot, type text, hi. So now it's working in Voiceflow. I don't know why it's a bit slow, I guess GPT 4.0. Oh my god, I did a mistake. Okay, you actually have to tag the bot, right? So I did a mistake. You actually have to tag the bot. That's my bad. News. Okay, yeah. So now the bot is gonna call the API and give us the news. I mean, I was like, why is it taking so long? Boom, free AI news. Apple Intelligence, iOS 18, WWDC, Daily Search Forum recap. Apple brings ChatGPT to iPhone in AI push. Literally less than 7 seconds. Crazy. Now I'm gonna show you how to take this even further. So let's go back into Voiceflow, and here, what we could do to make this even better is obviously add more intents, right? So we only have weather and news, and we only have the news programmed. But we can also do is, instead of it ending, we could make it a loop, right? So let's add a talk block, and let's see. What else do you need help with? Boom. Okay. Put it in here, and then we send it back into our intent block. Actually, you can also change these connectors to be a bit more fancy. Boom. So this is gonna, trigger after the AI block instead of it ending out of nowhere, and it's gonna go back into the intent, and we can obviously add more intentions in here, or we could change it up and we could add the capture block so that we capture the entire user response, right? So let's delete this link, boom, and instead we connect it to the capture one, and this one sends it to, maybe we can do a different AI, why not? We could do different AI, right? We have a different AI, again, we can do GPT-4o, help the user with, boom, and then we do the last utterance, boom. And literally, just like that, we can create a simple loop by feeding it into here as well, which is gonna constantly go forever. So we don't have to end the agent can communicate with the user forever, right? And again, this is for Discord. You can do this for WhatsApp, a website, Telegram, Slack. I mean, Voiceflow supports so many different platforms and interfaces, it's kind of amazing. So if you have a little bit more creativity, you can build an AI agent like this for literally anything. And again, we haven't done any programming, we haven't done anything complicated. Voiceflow makes building agents easier than ever before. Literally this beautiful UI that you can just drag and drop these different blocks and connect them, super intuitive, super simple. And like, if you have the slightest bit of creativity, you can see how you can build anything with this. Now, I'm going to show you how I would approach this if I were to turn this into business, because a lot of people are doing this, because, the first step is learning how to build agents. The second step is, what do you do with that skill? It's a super valuable skill, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people don't realize just how valuable of a skill this is. So what I would do is, first of all, I would target content creators, because so many of them has Discord servers, right? I mean, I have a school community, but most people have a Discord server, meaning they would be willing to have a Discord bot to just moderate the server, which you can do in Voiceflow, kind of crazy. Then, as you have a target audience, either companies or YouTubers or influencers that have Discord servers, you make 5 of them for free. Yes, you heard me right. You do what I just did in this video for free for 5 different people, improving it every time. And you simply ask, if it's good, give me a referral and give me a testimonial. Again, I've learned this from Hormozy, so this is not like any crazy idea that I've invented, but it works for launching new products. So you ask for a referral, meaning, do you know any other YouTubers with Discord servers? Trust me, every content creator knows more content creators, and you simply ask them for a testimonial. So a short video testimonial of recording like, hey, John has built me this AI agent. It's super good. I use it in my server all the time. I highly recommend it, right? So you do 5 people for free. This is how you build your portfolio. So not only do you get referrals, not only do you get testimonials, but you build a portfolio of different agents and you build the skills. Because if you haven't built this, if you've never used Voiceflow, Discord Developer Portal, you cannot offer this service. But if you do 5 for free, you will have portfolio and you will have experience. Now, what you do next is you can start charging. Start low. Maybe you can start with $100, right? Like, why not do this $100? I mean, you can build it in 20 minutes. Super easy. Now, the more demand you have, the more you can charge. So over time, as you keep improving and as you make agents that are more useful, obviously this one only gives the news, which is still pretty crazy because normally I would have to browse either Google, browse YouTube for hours watching videos, podcasts, or go on Twitter scrolling among the other garbage that's on there. Here I just tag my bot and I get instant news. And obviously I could, expand this into Google News, into Tesla News, into Meta AI News, news about Sam Altman, news about ChatGPT, news about Elon Musk, different intents. Like, again, you can build anything with Voiceflow. So if you have a bit of creativity, you can see how you can improve these agents. And once you have this built out, the next one you do will be that much easier. So realistically, if you get a contract with a content creator, the next content creator you build this way for will literally be like 10 minutes work done. I mean, if they want something custom, it will be longer, but if they want something you've already made before, it'll be so easy. And you can, again, the more demand you have, the more you start increasing your price. So just start for free, get people interested, get some referrals, get nice testimonials, and I guarantee you, like, if you offer it for free into a YouTuber who has a server, who needs help managing it, instead of having to pay for devs or moderators, you can just have an AI agent moderating it, or you can have an AI agent answering questions in real time, because guess what? Most people still don't use ChatGPT. Most people still don't even know about it. So if you add this bot into servers where people, are not using ChatGPT, this is powered by GPT-4. Like, this is the latest, greatest AI model, language model. It will bring so much value to not only the owner of the server, but also the members. So again, this is a super realistic way how you can start your AI business and make your first couple $1,000s. Just be willing to start for free, and the more demand you have, the more you increase your price. Now, again, all of this was possible thanks to Voiceflow, because if I haven't used Voiceflow, it would have taken me, like, I've built this realistically in like 20 minutes. Obviously, I commented it on top, so it took a bit longer, but without Voiceflow, it would take me hours. So again, I'm gonna link all of it in the description, and definitely check it out. I mean, dude, the pricing is just like, you can start for free. Like, most AI tools will not let you do this. You can start for free, and for most of you, I would highly recommend the Pro plan, because you can build 20 different agents, which, if you have some creativity, 20 different clients, and up to 2 million monthly AI tokens, which is plenty just to build and experiment, right? So again, try Voiceflow out. The link is in the description. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day.